Here's the one that I think I can leave you guys to do on your own. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 problems, or 4 numbers here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers here. Those are both easy enough to divide by, so I'm just gonna, I'll leave the smaller numbers to you and say, okay, I'm gonna add these all together to start with. And you know, I like to group mine together into numbers that are easy to combine. 14 and 26, that's a total of 40. 42, add the 17, that's 59, and then add the 11, that's 70. Okay, so if I add all those together, I'm finding the sum of them. But then I'm going to turn around and divide it by 5 because there's 5 numbers there. So to find the average, you're going to add up the numbers, divide by however many there are. So when I add them up to get 70 and divide by 5, I'm going to end up with a 14. So the average is 14, meaning somewhere in the midst of all this, there's a 14 right in the middle that'll keep it all balanced. Same thing you do over here, although you're doing that with dividing by 4. So when you add it all up, you're going to divide by 4. I'll leave that one to you. Write the following verbal sentence in an equation. 70 equals, let's just start there. 70 equals 20 divided by a number increased by 30. So I would argue that that's 20 divided by a number increased by 30. Or you can read it as 70 equals 20 divided by a number increased by 30. I think you could have an argument for either one of those. But a number increased by 30 seems like this would be the right way to do it. But I think an argument can be made, 20 divided by a number, especially the fact that you've got the increase by 30, it almost seems like you're pausing there to suggest that. So either one of those I think is a fair assessment. Here we're using the DIRT formula, D equals R times T, to identify the distance, which is equal to rate times the time. So the question is going to be to find out how long it will take, that's the time, right, to travel 800 miles, there's your distance, if you drive at a constant rate of 65 miles an hour. So there's your rate. If you plug all those things in, distance equals the rate, which is 65, times, because the distance, the time is what we're looking for. So I'm going to have to put my t right there. The 600 or the 845 is the distance that we plug in for d. So 845 equals 65t if I divide by 65. That's going to go into it, I don't know, let's see, 845 divided by 65. And that comes out to be a total of 13. If we do it long division style, 65 into 845. Well, 65 goes into 84 once. And 1 times 65 is 65. Now, if I subtract those, I have to borrow. There's my 7. There's my 9. I bring the 7 minus 6, and that's a 1. I'm going to have to bring down the 5. So now the question, how many times does 6 go into 19? Well, 6 goes into 18 3 times. And 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 times 6 is 18, plus the 1 is 19. And lo and behold, it's even. So that means 13 is the time it took. And so 13 is part of the story. The rest of the story is that it would be 13 hours to travel the 845 miles. And if we rise 251 feet, that's up. And then it descends 58 feet. Essentially, we're saying, what is 251 minus 58? 251 minus 58, well, we're going to subtract, borrow again. There's my 4. 11 minus 8 is 3. 4, I'm going to have to borrow again. 14 minus 5 is 9. And then the 1 is left, 193 feet. That is a positive 193. We're up in the air and we're not below sea level. Thank you very much. You're going to do great on the test.